Now, in many of the files that we will be dealing with, I've added comments, and in some cases I have screenshots that I have embedded in the RMD file or Markdown file. And when you run the knitting process, which I will show you how to do, and when you make the PDF out of the RMD, now the images will not render unless you have it in the same path like how I have set it up. Okay, so what you need to do is, okay, I have the images, and I may keep adding more images as I finish up setting up, and I'll let you know if I add more images. I'll let you know so you can download it again. So now I have it in a zip file. So you should download this, okay, and then you should have, wherever you save your RMD file, wherever the R Markdown file that we will be working with, okay, wherever you save it, whichever folder that you save it in, and in that folder you unzip the images. Okay, so it should be a folder within that folder where you save your RMD files. Okay, so because when you knit, the RStudio is going to look for a subfolder called images, and is going to try to fetch the image from there. So make sure that it is there. Then when you knit the RMD file, all these images will get rendered correctly. Okay, so that's something that you need to do. Okay. Now, we looked at the basic RMD file last time, which is here. Okay, so there are three basic types of content in an R Markdown. So you have the metadata, which is at the very top, okay, with 3 hyphens. Okay, so this part is the metadata, and you don't have to have it, it's optional. And when you create, so new RMD files are created by clicking the down arrow from here, right? And then clicking R Markdown. Okay. When you do that, then you can give a title, an author name if you like, and then when you click OK, it'll create that metadata there, and then it'll put a lot of other stuff too. Okay, and you can keep the very first code chunk, which has the knit or defaults. We'll talk about this in just a second. And then the rest of it you can pretty much delete. So you'll go Shift Control End. So that will highlight all this additional stuff that it puts in. Okay, Shift Control End, and then you delete. Okay, so then you will have the top part. You know, if you want to go and edit the top part, you can do that. Okay, you can go in and change. You want to get rid of the date, get rid of it. You want to change the name, title, or whatever. All that you can do. Or if you want to get rid of the whole thing, that's fine too. Okay. All right, and then you have the code chunk, and then the text. So those are the 3 basic components of an R Markdown document. And R Markdown documents are saved with .rmd as the extension, whatever file name you give, and then .rmd. Okay, if you do R script is, if you create R script, okay, so there are no markdowns here, and R script are saved with just simply .r. Okay? But we will use RMD files, not R script files. Okay? And then so here are some formatting that you can do. Okay, so these are formatting commands or literals, same as in Python Markdown. Okay, so what's inline formatting, then block level formatting, header and list and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then we have the knit-r basics. Okay, here are some shortcuts, and the two shortcuts that are important for us is one is inserting new chunk. Okay, as we work through, we will want to create new chunks and put code in the chunk. So that is Control Alt I for insert. Control Alt I. That's one we will use very often. And then this is the other one, running the current chunk. Control Shift Enter. That will run the current chunk. Okay, so there are two ways of doing this. Of course, running the chunk, you can also click that green button, or you can go and select what you want to run, current or next chunk, or all chunks above, or all chunks below, or run everything. Okay, all of those options are there under run. But if you want to just run one chunk where you're working with, okay, the one in which you're writing code, then the quick way of doing that is Control Shift Enter. Okay, so those are the two that are important for our purposes. And if you want more information, here are a couple of web pages where you can find much more information about all of these.